I just want to start the video with this disclaimer, and I can't believe I have to do it, but it's been brought to my attention all my life. There are some white and black people who are ignorant to the fact that black people can have two fully black parents and still come in a plethora of shades. It's like beyond them. They can't comprehend that. Anyway, let me start the video. Light-skinned people can be the bane of everybody's fucking existence. Hold on, let me explain. And I want you guys to pull up a seat and actually listen. Don't start talking yet. When I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, up until the age of, from 5 to the age of 9, I went to a predominantly white school where I think I was one of maybe 2 black people. There was a lot of shit that happened in that school that I didn't realize was happening because I was black until I got older. For example, they put me in special education classes. They put me in a class for people who had trouble reading, and then when I was put in those classes, the teachers were scratching their heads like, why the fuck is she in here? It was actually because they just didn't know how to teach me. They didn't know how to work with my particular brain. There was stuff that I was blamed for that I didn't do. Anyway, I could do a whole video on that. And then at the age of 9, my parents moved to a different place, and I went to a school where it was maybe like, I'm gonna say 60 to 70% black students, and then the rest were white and other races. When I went to, hold on, listen to me. I need you to listen. When I went to this school, I was made fun of. And I'm about to say something that's going to piss a lot of black people off. And I've heard you make fun of black people who say this. But again, I need you to listen for a second, okay? Just take a deep breath. Unclench your ass. I'm going somewhere with this. Just hear me out. And the thing that pisses black people off when you say it is this. Yes, I was that black person who was made fun of by the black students because I wasn't black enough, and I was made fun of the white students because although I talked white and liked stereotypical white things, I, at the end of the day, was still a black person. Did you cringe? Okay. Now, the white folks did that shit because at the end of the day, I don't care how white you talk. I don't care how many stereotypically white things you like. You are just a black person as far as they're concerned. You will never be like them. You will never be accepted. It will never be okay. And they need to remind you of that to keep you in your place. The black people did it because, one, for those of you who didn't turn off your ears and you continue to listen, thank you. I appreciate you. The black people did it because historically light-skinned people have been fucking assholes, okay? How many of you you have darker skin and you had a light-skinned family member who thought they were better than you, and they made fun of your skin color and they treated you like shit? And the parents of that light-skinned black person also treated you like shit. And they reminded you that their son, their daughter was better than you. And aren't they just beautiful? They have this beautiful skin. And everybody treated you differently because you were simply darker skinned. And then you grew up with the messaging that your skin color is bad. And there are often jokes made about your skin color being darker. And then the messaging all over TV is that lighter skin, the more European beauty standards you meet, preferably white, the better you are. And the boys that you liked didn't like you back, and they always picked that preference. Mind you, side note, I could do a video about how preferences are often treated worse, but anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. So you have this programming that you got from light-skinned people who treated you like you ain't shit, and they acted like they were better than you. Their parents acted like they were better than you. There's media telling you that they're better than you. I can understand why you would have whether you admit it or not, a subconscious annoyance with light-skinned people. I used to always wonder why black people around me would be like, oh, when I first met you, I thought you were a snob. And I'd be like, what you talking about? Why would you think that? It's because historically we've been fucking assholes. We have been snobs. That was the expectation. So when you get somebody like me who is not like that, I don't do the skin tone jokes. I don't do that shit. I would not date dudes that would talk about, oh, you light skin, you yellow bone, you this, that. I would not. That's not a compliment to me. Okay. When you get somebody like me who comes into the circle and you're like, damn, she ain't an asshole. I get it. I understand. While it's not cool to bully anyone, that wasn't cool. There's still trauma I'm dealing with from the bullying that I got to this day. I understand where it started, and it's still going on to this day. Ain't nothing changed. That messaging is still very much prevalent. There are still those light-skinned family members who act like they're better than everybody else. Hell, there are light-skinned people who make it their personality trait that they're a fucking light-skinned person. And the trauma that I experienced getting bullied as a light-skinned person pales, no pun intended, pales in comparison to the trauma that black people with darker skin have experienced. So I'm not even going to sit here and try to take away from that and pretend like I'm somehow worse off and my trauma was worse. No, absolutely not. So I just want to put that out there. And as far as when I was made fun of for talking white by other black people, I get it because of the fact now, I'm just going to take an exit right here. I do think it's ignorant to assume that somebody talks a certain way and equate that to whiteness. So you're trying to say that black people talk uneducated? And anyway, so that's still wrong. But I will say that there are a lot of light-skinned people who try to assimilate to what they think is whiteness because they think that's going to cause them to be accepted more so by white people and to continue to be the preference, although none of that does shit because, as I stated, they will always remind you that you are just a black person. It's not going to do anything. So the assumption would be, even though with me it was unintentional because I was just raised around a lot of white people, I understand where the thought process would be to think that I'm talking and acting a certain way and liking certain things because I'm trying to be accepted by white people. I get that. That's where that comes from. And I still to this day get made fun of and talked about for being light-skinned. There are some black creators who don't take me seriously when I talk about black issues because I'm a light-skinned person. Again, because of the aforementioned reasons, I totally get it. My only criticism for black people as a whole is this, and I need you to hear me out. We cannot talk about becoming one and moving in unison and every black person joining together while also questioning and excluding certain types of black people. With that said, light-skinned people, get your shit together. You're not better, okay? You're still black at the end of the day, okay? You might be a preference, but you're a preference in the sense of a new toy for that season. You're going to get played with for a little bit and thrown in the trash just like every other thing that they're tired of after a while. Get over yourself.